late. I'm daddy so. You're disturbing daddy. Daddy is sleeping. Alright guys, tonight we're gonna be talking about I just saw a report and I've reacted on my page on the purported arrest of Bobrisky, and a lot of questions are being asked. The type of one way. I think I have to just come out and explain.
It is an exciting matchup today in Old Trafford. Malian FC versus Red On United 2-0. Star player Mobad turned through the opposition and quickly approaching one of the greats. See Ronaldo. Unbelievable rainbow finish from Mobad. Ronaldo is going to struggle to recover from that one. Mobad takes the shot from outside the box, and it is a goal. It is a goal. Fantastic footwork from one of the greatest in the game. Mobad of the Malians overcoming the greatest.
If I did play football, I would bench Messi, bench Ronaldo, bench Ronaldo. Nigerian youths, we need to get in there. Please share this live broadcast. Love, like and share, and let's talk about what we need to know. It's social media, of course. Most of these apps, they are created for entertainment majorly and to connect, but of course we're not going to be passing away the opportunity to educate ourselves on key matters that concerns our rights, that concerns the welfare of a country, so that we'll be able to know our rights. When you know your rights, that is when you can be able to defend it, and then you'll be able to speak like you're informed, because there is nothing that can free the Nigerian youth. It is just the honest truth. Truth is the only thing that can free the Nigerian youth. Even our constitution and our anthem says it all. It's only God should guide the youth the truth to know. We should be able to understand that social media trial and delving into cases and then discussing key aspects of a law on social media will always ignite a lot of terrible, ill information, half-baked information, and all of that. But of course, I am still going to be maintaining the stance. If anybody is being invited by the police, you should be able to know the difference between when you are invited by the police to come and answer to some questions or some findings, or by particular government institution for fact finding. You are duty bound to respond. You have the alienable right to honor the invitation so that you can help the investigation. Of course, some invitations, they come with condition. Some invitation might come probably when you are not physically fit. Maybe you are in hospital, like I'm saying, maybe you are not around, maybe you are indisposed and all of that. Anything can be your excuse. Maybe you are attending to your personal health. Maybe anybody's parents just died, and the day they fixed the hearing might be the burial of the parents, might be the person's child wedding or anything. Whatever it is your excuse. If it is an invitation, and if you have not committed a crime, or if you are just being suspected, they don't know whether you committed a crime or not. Certainly, if it is an invitation, you can always inform them by saying, I won't be able to come that time because I have something, this and that, and then opportunity will be given again to probably reappear so that you can be able to establish your point. And then the government can be able, or the organization that are doing the fact finding, they can be able to ascertain and establish a position. So it is very important that Nigerian youth, Nigerian people should know the difference between this kind of invitation and warrant of arrest, or if somebody is actually being wanted by the order of a judge or thereabout, or organization like maybe the House of Reps or the Senate, if they issue a bench warrant, or you're being subpoenaed, that you must be able to, you must appear unfailingly. If you are being issued that, of course, you have no right. You have no right to ignore that again. You will appear by every means necessary. But now let's go into this Bobrisky's case. I don't know how true it is. To me, I want to believe it is not true that he's under arrest now. To me, I don't want to believe it is true because I don't do social media sentiment or whatever. He has been sentenced to prison. He has been punished for his crime. That's the other one. That he made some allegations via audio and all of that. That is still subject to findings. But the only thing that I'm talking about, which is very, very important, and it concerns you and I and everybody, because when the young people start selective human rights protection, then you will continue to put yourself, you play to the gallery, and those that want to actually abuse your right and attack you or hurt you, whether in government, in family, anywhere, they will also tilt towards the same advantage. And that is why it is important. And this is my analysis. If you are physically present at any port of entry, at any port, if you are physically present there, and probably if you are going in group, or you are with people in your family, or you, whatever it is, if you are physically present and somebody goes in to present your passport, the immigration officer can choose to say, I won't process this document until I see the owner of this passport, so that I'll be sure that is the person I am giving and being processed, I am processing. And if the person did appear and say, yes, I'm the one, I'm only seated there, I'm having constipation, okay, now whatever it is, I say, okay, fine, take your time. When you are ready, come to my front and let me process you. Immigration is 24 hours. They don't close at the immigration because the border must not close. So if you know you have a travel to go, whatever you are doing, when you are ready that you want to pass here, don't worry, I will be here. Bring your document. This is where we will be. We will process you. But if you are not ready, we cannot allow you to pass. That should never constitute or become a crime. That's okay, you send somebody out, go ahead to stamp it. Then I'm going to put on. Bearing in mind again that there is freedom of movement within the ECOWAS state. It's just like you going from Ibadan to Oyo. That is almost the same thing with Kutoni. But the border is there to demarcate, okay, for Nigerians or people that are not Nigerians or within the ECOWAS state, so that they can also be processed. But be that as it may, it is also very important for us as Nigerians to know our rights. Because if you are also under attack, if you are going to be persecuted, if they are going after your life, if it turns out to be the turn of your son, if it might not be a Bobrisky matter, it might be that your son is also trying to, trying to evade persecution, oppression. And trust me, if somebody says, okay, how did they do it? Let me call one immigration there. Just let me stop that person. He said, why should we stop this person? He said, and police want to, we invited him to come next week. So we think he's running away this week. It's not going to make any sense. It's an abuse and it's a serious criminal offense. Trust me. Except it is established that, okay, you were not at the port of entry, but you want them to stamp you in. That is a criminal offense. But if the person is physically present at the port of entry, trust me, if the officer says, where is the owner of this document? He is in the car or he's somewhere out there. Please, if the person wants to pass here, let the person come to my front and I'll process the person by physical examination. That shouldn't be a crime. No young person should be writing that is a crime on social media. The Nigerian politicians and oppressors, they will continue to say, can you see that these people, they will continue to be our tool because they are not informed. Look at, they are supporting it because they thought it's a crime. People travel in group. Super Eagles, when they are traveling, they will give it to the leader. A leader of the staff will hold the passport and present it before the immigration. The immigration can now say, okay, one by one, where is this person? Put it aside. But it might be one person dropping it on behalf of everybody. And they'll look at it, okay, Nigerian contingent, Olympic. People that see, when they see going for Olympic, contingent, the leader of the group, it's even allowed. Tourist, if it is a tourist package, the leader of a tourist, the person, the tour guide, might be the one to say, okay, these are my people, they are coming in for so thing, I am leading them into my country. It is the discretion of the immigration officer to say, please, individual person that owns this passport, sir, I accept that you are coming to speak for them. I accept your submission. they are going for your event, they are going for this. Good. Each of them should now start coming. So if it is the demand and the person did appear, there shouldn't be any crime. The only time it becomes a crime is if the person has already jumped into the country and they want to make the immigration to stand the person as if the person, that is when it becomes a crime. But if the person is still in the country and have not passed through you, don't, please, Nigerian youth, don't say because you want to speak on social media and then you start eulogizing gross human rights abuse. It might not be, it might be because it's not in favor, the matter is not in favor of Bobrisky now. But tomorrow, are you going to change your tone when it comes to other person that is fleeing for his or her life? When you are fleeing, that you know that, that my oga, want to persecute me, they want to take my parents' property, they want to take my life, they want to take my child. You cannot continue to change who you are. You cannot change the law depending on the individual you are dealing with. Then don't blame the politicians that the country is not working well. If as young people, that's what you do on social media. You cannot be backwards. It's awkward. So I don't want to believe the Nigerian immigration will do that. I still want to believe that, because even as we speak now, if they hold him from today, so are they going to hold him till they go the next session in probably next, is it not next week Monday or where? I don't even know the date. The point is, I don't believe they did that. And we must understand how the law operates. An officer at immigration cannot say, I think this man is running. This is Cotonou now. You can go there for 1 or 2 hours and come back to Nigeria. I might have police invitation next tomorrow. And I can travel to London today and come back the second day. Your right to movement, people can suspect. You can only be denied that entry if Bobrisky refused to appear at the House of Reps this second sitting. Even if this second sitting, he has a legal representative and the lawyer says he can still not appear because of this or that. If it is tenable, they might say, okay, we'll give him another chance. But if they feel like, no, we don't accept this, it's now certain that this person is trying to avoid us, we are issuing a bench warrant on this person, subpoena, then it would have to appear because the police, it will be served, that stuff will be served to the Commissioner of Police or to the IG, and the IG would command his officers to present him, and by all means necessary. But we have not even gotten to that stage. Maybe he's going to Cotonou to go and buy clothes. Maybe he's going to Cotonou to go and see a friend. Maybe he's going to go for traditional medicine and be returning back. We don't know. And at the end of the day, we have to be objective and be honest with ourselves. Whatever it is that might have been said in the audio, I don't support that the judge will give another, and is another thing is being done in the prison. I don't support that. But the fact remains that whatever the case may be, to actually substantiate whatever is in the audio, the EFCC must be found wanting. There must be evidence that they truly did it. The prison, the investigator, the House of Reps must be able to establish that truly that thing said is true. The Nigerian Prison Correctional Center must also be found wanting. So they have to go and investigate and ensure that, can we see your records? Can we see other evidences that this person was in this facility? And then if there is that physical examination, or probably they have CCTV and they go through the CCTV, like, okay, can we see for today? Okay, can we see for tomorrow? If they can see consecutively and establish that, okay, fine, okay, this is him, then we don't know. At the end of the day, it will turn out to be Bobrisky only made mouth. He only made mouth. He only, tried to package himself personally to his friend that he was talking to in private capacity. And that is, at the end of the day, they will still say, okay, fine, we're going to warn you, or you have done this or that. But whatever the case may be, that I said that arresting him because he wants to travel to Cotonou, or wherever he wants to travel to, is gross violation of his right. It is the truth. Except there is other reasons, a serious crime he committed at that port of entry. And which, of course, we have to be careful as people. If the immigration wants to now substantiate or try to say, okay, we want to look for good reason to hold him, let us lie against him to satisfy, then at the end of the day, we're still going to all look stupid at the end of the day. Because whatever the case may be, any immigration officer cannot personally think within himself that I think this person is running, let me stop him. You cannot think. You can only stop people at the port of entry if the law says you should do that. And the only way the law can say that is if there is an order. If the law enforcement send a signal that so person, that is why in most cases, when people are being tried for criminal offenses or maybe they are being suspected and they are under trial, part of the condition or bail condition will be that you must release your international passport. When you release your international passport, part of your bail condition, it means that if you are not found trying to travel out, it means you are trying to travel with fake documents, and that is a crime. But in this public hearing, he has not even appeared, and at the end of the day, they cannot rule. It's the House of Reps. It's not the court of law. They just want to hear from him. When you said this, is it true that you are saying it? What was the position? Emil Sabeo or Musabeo, it was just, I was only blabbing. I was only trying to bloat myself. I was actually there. I served in the prison. I was only lying, Daddy. I was just trying to get money from my friend. It could be anything. They would just tell it, but don't you know the implication of what you said? Are you, I'm saying, whatever they want to decide on that, of course, they will still want to ensure and, let the public know that the public institutions, they are not involved in such criminality and fraud or corruption. But if they are involved, of course, the law should take its real course. Whoever is involved, they should be penalized. But in this case of trying to say, oh, let us satisfy fundamental, let us satisfy our emotions, our sentiments, and then we accept that somebody's right should be gagged. Tomorrow, if it turns out to be your turn or turn of your son or daughter, when you are fleeing persecution, before you are even declared wanted, immigration already starts detaining you that you are wanted. It doesn't make any sense. Nigerian youth, don't raise your children. Don't even build your psyche that way. It is the immigration does not have right to declare anybody. It is when they declare you wanted or you are a flight risk, then the message will pass to them, and then they will know. It's okay that if they're trying to say, let's play safe, or if they choose to say, we are denying you, passage, you might say, okay, why don't you want me to pass? If the reasons are terrible, but to now arrest the person means that the person have committed a crime. So people do not understand when they are saying, maybe if they had said Bobrisky denied passage, maybe reason why he was denied passage, it will drag you with immigration later. That why don't you want me to go out of this country? Yeah, I'm going for something important, and you say I can't go because I didn't meet up, I didn't do that. But to now add arrest because they assume you cannot arrest somebody except there is an order of the court. In this particular case, maybe he's going for just 2 days and he's going to come back. Oh, he demand long. Even if he's running away, even if he runs away and the investigation revealed that truly he did not serve his term, the recommendation of the House will be that so person, they will send the recommendation to the court, and then the trial will start, and they will still charge him and find him guilty. And based on that, no country can hold him. He will be declared wanted. And they can ask that he should be expatriated. And they will still return him back to Nigeria. If eventually it turns out that, oh, truly, he did not serve his term there. That means officers of the EFCC would have to be brought out to have committed a crime. Officers from the prison would have to be substantiated that they also committed a crime with him. Whoever the godfather is would have to be brought out to, and that one, when they, even if he run, but we cannot continue to say there is no martial law. If there is a martial law, then we'll say, okay, they are abdicating all fundamental human rights, and they are abdicating so many things that has to do with democracy. It's just military, and that is the law we're going to be following. But that is not it. So if any young person or any Nigerian who is honest, forthright, is supporting and saying, I still want immigration to come out and tell us his offense and why he was being arrested without an order of the court, let's wait and hear. I want to hear what they will say. Because if there is no legitimate reason for arresting him and denying him access, then he will have to sue them for fundamental breach of his right, and they will pay. That's why the fact that we want to, at least he will go to court and will still, because at the end of the day, It's still not prejudice. It has nothing to do with whether he will be found guilty in the House of Reps findings or not. This is fundamental human rights. Like I'm saying. So it is very, very important. If he has not committed a crime, somebody said I had his passport was revoked. I don't know the basis for that. I don't know why they will revoke his passport. I don't know what you mean by passport being revoked. Like I'm saying. But my own is that if he's traveling to a Commonwealth state, like I'm saying, if he's traveling to even if he's traveling to America, you can go to America in 2-3 days and come back. It's only funny that some Nigerians believe that we should accept, like I'm saying, that we should accept that, oh, he is fleeing and he has been declared wanted. That is why the immigration took that action. Does it make any sense? Nobody declared him wanted. Nobody said he should not go anywhere he wants to go. One officer just flew within himself. He should do that because he's wearing the uniform. Or it's accepted. It's wrong. No DPO can say go and arrest that person, except you are involved in the crime, as in you are doing the crime immediately on the spot. If somebody brings a complaint about you to the police, no DPO has got the right to say, oh yeah, go and arrest this. They will only say, invite this person. You have brought an allegation against this man. He is not here. We don't know whether it is true or not. Even with all these things that you brought. Like I'm saying, we need to know whether it is true. We need to balance our story. So let them go and invite him. If they go and arrest him based on petition, without evidence, without inviting the person, it's a criminal offense. You must sue the police immediately for abuse of fundamental rights. That is a separate thing to whether you are guilty of what they invited you for or not. It's just because Nigerians, we continue to abhor and we eulogize torture. That is why most Nigerians will always be scared to go to police station. If you think you have anything against me, hold whatever you have as your evidence. Invite me. I don't know why you are inviting me. It might be a matter of 10 years, 5 years ago. You know whatever you have as evidence. Keep them in your place. You invite the person lawfully. That is what the law says. Somebody, they will invite you. In Lagos, a police will take motor, come to Ogun State without landing in the police command in Ogun State. They will just come straight to where you are and they arrest you. All those things, they are criminal offenses. The only reason why the police will do that is if there is a warrant to arrest you, and then they would have to take everything together, meet with the police in that jurisdiction where you are domiciled, that they want to go and arrest people under this command, and then they will give them support. Okay, go, we are aware. Then they go and pick you up and then they take you down. If you don't know your rights, you cannot defend it. You cannot continue to live as slaves. And that is why you will say, Ilu Yogboro, because you yourself, your thinking, your behavior, your reasoning, what you accept is almost like you are a slave. So until everybody is duly informed on the basic tenets of human rights, you won't be able to know. Chef Wostik, yes, so because if you support any human rights abuse, no matter how infinitesimal it is still going to come back on you. So people should not think that, oh, this and that, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not supporting anybody to do crime. I'm not supporting anybody to ignore invitation of the House of Reps or police. No, don't do that. But of course, we all know that even in some cases, people will know that, oh, any you can let's take, for instance, during Babajisha's case. You all had when Yabo came up, when she came up and said, that I won't feel like Yomi. We couldn't logbe a feeling to repay or sheshe untoro bimo la she logbe. So if I had waited, they truly made an attempt because they wrote fake petition, Princess and whoever and their clique. They wrote lies against me in Zone 2 because I was fighting for human rights. They lied that I wanted to buy her, I wanted to do this and do that. They lied in the petition. And the police have already been mobilized. And they've already even, that woman was saying that anybody that knows my house, they will give them 200,000 naira. That is persecution. So if I am moving before they get me, it is wrong for any immigration to stop me because it was police invitation. But people use dirty behaviors. If they have a connect in the immigration, they will just call and say, "Ema je ko koja o. Ta ló ní kó má kọjá, ṣé ilé ẹjọ́ ló ní kó má kọjá." One individual says, "Ema je ko kọjá," and you are supporting that. Tó bá wá dọ̀dọ̀ tí yín, ẹ máa ní, ìlú yóò lè dá mọ́. Can you imagine? Who is that person? How they block it? It's because you are like the same people that are oppressing. If let's assume that Bobrisky is running, where will he run to? He can only run, he can't hide. If after the whole findings is found guilty and there is need to bring him back, they will order. Or that means he will continue to run from Nigeria, finish. And how many things will he pack and go? So there are so many ways the law can catch up with people. But to be preempting, to be acting like we are all holy, and then we want that human rights, the rights of people should be abused, criminality should be engaged by law enforcement officer to enforce the law, is total absurdity. Then you are part of a problem why the country cannot progress. So that is why we go. Support stop Bobrisky. No. Who gave the order? If tomorrow politicians or the government wants to clamp on the people and abuse your rights and do whatever they want to do, you'll be now asking, it is human rights abuse. When you were supporting it in this one, which law were you using? Is it the same constitution? So we just have to understand this. It's not supporting crime, but because at the end of the day, if immigration is doing this to another human being, based on I thought, because as we speak now, even the next sitting that he is being invited to lawfully, the date is still next week, Monday. Even the House of Reps cannot conclude now that he did not come. Because it is until that day and he refused to show up or tender a good reason why he cannot show up again. And then they say, you know what? We rule in this committee that we are not accepting that excuse. We are hereby ordering they will issue a bench warrant or subpoena and then to the IG that they should provide this person by all means necessary. The meeting was today. Is it today? They said next week. I'm not following it. So at the end of the day, that is where you now realize that, okay, somebody have committed a crime. La paix. Well, I think it's next week because from all indication, I got some information that the House of Reps committee members were at Kirikiri prison today. So it was, it's quite funny. It's easy for us to conclude that it was trying to run. Whether you like it or not, it is still based on probability. But in yet economy, so within us, inside ourselves. No, if that's what I'm saying. What people are not getting it. I'm not supporting that anybody should, ignore invitation of House of Reps or inquest or commission of inquiry or stuff. It's not okay to ignore. It's not okay to avoid. People should not mix it up. It is not okay to ignore. I am saying. But what I am saying is that when somebody is being invited by the police, if the police invites you that please, we want you to come to our office to answer some, allegations or some findings on Friday, and the person is seen traveling on Tuesday, whether to Cotonou or whether to France or whether, it's still not okay. Except it is of a serious crime. And what they will do is that if the person says, oh, can you please wait? That is, if there is no sanction, if they don't want you to pass, they will send memo to the immigration. So person must not be allowed to pass. If they have it, it's not to be allowed to pass. If they now feel, okay, so person is before us, my sir, and is asking for permission to pass through our border, so please deny the passage. Whatever it is, we will defend it later, but deny the passage. It is because of national security. If national security is involved, of course, it supersedes every other person's fundamental right. And when they deny passage, it means that you are not going to be allowed to enter. Please go back to where you're going. There is a ban on you, or they will find the excuse for that person. But to now arrest the person is what I am saying. Arrest for which crime? Is what we are saying, but a lot of people are not. Arrest for which crime? We want to know. Is it because he wants to travel out? He wants to travel to Cotonou or wherever he's traveling to. Arrest for what? What will be the basis of a crime? I don't know. So that is what I am saying. So let me bring it up, panelists, to discuss this. Somebody, normally, if I see any comments that is not constructive, that is looking like you're trying to speak like you are from me, I'm sorry, I'll block. I mean, as I get lucky, I want to satisfy people with I don't. It's a community. I want people, when they read on my page, they read comments that is, you know, reasonable and sane. So you can antagonize without, you know, insulting or using derogatory language, because it's not just about me, it's about other people, and I have right to protect my page. So I won't even assume that the person is sensible or is a normal human being. I will assume any comment from any account where, if you come to threaten, I will follow you. I'm not living by all that nonsense. If you're not in my purview, I can't see you. But when it comes to speaking the truth, a fundamental human right, we should be able to understand it, because people, they use such things to oppress, to persecute. So it is always very important. When you don't have anything to hide, if you have not committed a crime, why are you running? And even if you think you have committed a crime, you can always appear, and then, you know, your right will still be protected. There's no point running. You don't run when you have done something wrong, because no matter how far you run, the hand of the law will catch up with you. But it's still not okay. Don't accept it for anybody, for an immigration officer or anybody to say, I think this person is being needed in police station, so let me help the police to stop him. When there is no order, there is no signal that this person should not be allowed to pass through the border. If the person is of interest, of serious interest, and they don't want the person to pass, of course, a signal would have been sent to the immigration, and when the person presents his or her passport, it will be flagged. And of course, they will deny passage and not arrest. The only time it will go with an arrest is if there is a bench warrant, or an arrest, a warrant of arrest is being issued by a competent court of jurisdiction. But other than that, you don't deny anybody's that freedom of movement, because at the end of the day, you will only be coming up with Saloni, when there is still reason for the person to say, Salobu, this is not where I normally go. I'm coming back. Yes. I just want to go there and come back. Clear brain me or you can't say because it's of interest to you, and then you dump the truth and the law for your personal opinion and law.
Yes. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, my brother.
Okay. Now, if you look at the previous time they invited Bobrisky, he did attend.
Till the first time.
He did give any reason why he did not attend.
Yeah, his lawyer gave a reason. I think his lawyer represented him and gave a reason, and that is why it was scheduled. He was given another date.
Okay.
So, and that other date, I think that date is not yet. Next week, next week Monday. So, my opinion is that even if at all the case is of serious national interest, I am only saying this so that all of us will know. It's not okay for anybody to say amen, except there is an order and that order that can come up now will only be an advice to the immigration. This person, please do not allow the person to leave this country. Period. But to arrest the person, you know, when they deny you passage, they will tell you, oh, sorry, our system is not okay. We just have to come back another day or come. They can give you an excuse that we can't allow it, but they won't arrest you. Because to arrest the person, it means that maybe tell by Jeko lawyer, boy, I'm going to sheti o raye lo. O ko de ni nkan to fe lo se nijo on jo Monday. Ade gbera lo be, a lo apa won to fe lo ba se nkan tele pe mi o le wa mo njo bayi. O da ko mo kan to sele nboda. To ba de join ya lo. But to now arrest him as if he has committed a crime is what Nigerians do not understand.
Or even a crime that don't commit you that he accept go and commit crime. So they want some, you know, it's always sick when you see people that even taking him as a guilty already. Yeah.
So when you see people that you expect that, are you informed? What is your level of civilization? How can you want politicians and the government to treat you with dignity and respect? And in one breath, you are supporting human rights abuse here. In another breath, you are saying you are fighting for human rights here. It's not adding up. International community, they'll be looking at you and say, this one cannot represent human rights. And at the end of the day, you are indirectly telling the people that this is how I want to be treated when it gets to my own turn. Because they will say, the only thing you do is, London tí mo wà nísìn phone mi mo ra phone by S11 Samsung. One of my colleagues boy love cash aga boy fi bàjẹ́ nìyẹn. A ṣe planning go assisting my. Mo bá lọ sí Kẹjà pé mo college mo lọ Kẹjà lọ. Wọ́n ní kò tí sí kíní because it was just a new phone. And mo ti store gbogbo nǹkan síbẹ̀ ngba yẹn. I had to travel down within 4 days. Mo sáré wá ṣe fún mo dé padà. I get what I'm saying. Nígbà tí à ń ṣe case Baba Ijesha tí wọ́n lọ sí zone 2 tí wọ́n lọ parọ́ mọ́ mi bẹ̀ tó ní pé kí n wá. I couldn't go that time because mo pé wọ́n fẹ́ persecute me ni. And I came to London. I get what I'm saying. And I sent my lawyer down there. And I sent medical stuff to them because I had to come for my medical stuff. Nígbà tó yá mo dé lọ attend sí wọn. Nígbà mo ti dé o. I get what I'm saying. On your bàbá gbogbo gba ẹ ma ni ó yẹ kó ti yé yín kí ló yé mi ńbẹ̀ nígbà tí ó yé mi wọ́n fẹ́ ṣèkà fún mi wọ́n máa ṣèkà wọ́n máa ṣan wọ́n lára mi because I have not committed a crime. All they did was lie. Nígbà tí irú princess yẹn bá competition pẹ̀lú àwọn criminals tọ́jọ́ ń kóra wọn kiri ó fẹ́ pa mí ó ṣe gbá kan ẹni tí mi ò mọ̀ ní ẹ̀ tí mi ní nọ́mbẹ̀ lọ́wọ́ ó send a threat message. At the end of the day I might be able to all they ti plan wọn ni pé tí n bá ṣe débẹ̀ báyìí ìjọ kejì wọ́n ti san millions ẹni tó ń bá wọn sponsor gẹ́ yẹn tó ń ṣe wẹ̀ wọ́n ti sanwó fún wọn pé ẹ gbé lọ court lẹ́sẹ̀kẹsẹ̀. Don't forget that charging me to court is the #1 court. Lagos State government on the other hand, without inviting me, without writing to me, without arresting me, they also went to court, another court, and put it before the judge. We want to charge Yomi Fabiyi for court contempt for the movie Okoyabo. Something that was not your crime, baby, committed a crime. If I was not in London, if I had not here, I am saying. Now, I picture it. Immigration come out going to nothing for case here. Ko adami duro, ko je ko persecute me. When the only thing that is present is police invitation. Do you understand? And I was going to honor the invitation. I honored the invitation, but not the time totally because persecution. So if I now say because it is not in my own case, because it's this one, I should now say they can deny or they can abuse his right. Which government organization will abusing people's rights to discharge their duty? Why should Nigeria support that nonsense? Don't worry, I got your back. Why should they? Because the only thing they will do is, oh, I'm sorry, it's like your passport is having, but you have a low technical clinical. This your passport is having some, we cannot read it. It cannot read it. But no, if you cannot read it, oh, we cannot, we can't process you. I am saying they will only delay you so that you can go and attend what they need you for. Because if they didn't allow you process to pass, you will go back to your house. If you come back the second day, same thing. Third day, and all immigration would have known about it. Títí tẹ́ni ẹ máa fi wò tíjọ́ tó máa lọ fún nǹkan tó pè fún tó máa wò jẹ́ lọ fèsì kíní ẹlẹ́kan. I am saying, but to now arrest the person without police, without the person being declared wanted, without a bench warrant, because Ekoro Salo is gross human rights abuse.
If not the way you explain something now, you need to, I would think that maybe you want to run.
Because that is how we are being ruled. We are not following the law. Maybe rule. Our boys here, Tabafe protest this thing. Maybe one my Jackie. Yeah, they will only be taking your rights away from you. To come out and express yourself, maybe they will hijack it. Maybe tell about name express around careful protest to be the writing. Kill a fellow. You have right to use peaceful protest. You have right to use election. Ikowa, the opportunity balloting. Ikowa, you would have to say, you know what, we are genuinely aggrieved. We just want to suffer ourselves. And we'll be demanding by so doing without committing crime. And then the government will look and say, could possible come out and come and bury from okay.
The thing is that you know the previous protest they did, it was not like they are playing. You know when you are doing protests and you are cooking. You are cooking on the road. You are doing things.
The reason for that was because they needed to sustain it. People were sleeping over. I am saying that was the only technique that would have made sense, that would have used them to prove to the world that this is what we're saying. Forget about talk about it commit a crime. Whether I'm calling you, one Joe, one bucket you, talk about it commit a crime. And one long can my titi show no money. For people that have houses, millionaires, technocrats, scholars, to be eating and be feeding on the street. It's part of the way to say we want to sacrifice and want to punish ourselves to be able to pass this message. I am saying it to you. These are the little things they use to brainwash people like you, and then you attack what you should not attack. Human rights in see wanting everybody láti school ni. I won't see the need for me to be doing all this. Could I listen to my shower? Because we all have the same knowledge of the law. But one school, how many children don't know right to express her. So at the end of the day, it's going to be funny. I don't know the system or pattern to present her. But on tobati moyo tobati wani port of entry. You might present passport, maybe your wife or somebody's on wheelchair. It's because people are not fully informed. No, that you only want to wheelchair. Why is this person? Mental cramp. You only want mental pain. I am saying. No one come here. If I come out here, present. I want see social media is not a place that you discuss, serious issues. But the Yokro majority think Yoko see, and that is why we have to take it down to everybody on social media. So whatever banters, whatever abuse that is coming, we say I want job by so. It's not about to buy publicity by Jebi. And I would never say don't accept. Or run away from the. No, I won't do that. Why would I do that? For what? Whether I'm going to sobe or tolo so, or whether I'll packaging senior. Normally on a good day, I've said to somebody, see or me, Lana or Tom Bobrisky, to buy a lobby, Bobrisky son of Theory, so you also for my boy, I'm a sock. Shumato to dancing. How many years shall I talk? But I call personally. And Bobrisky got aṣa àparọ́ burúkú when kini kan irọ́ ló máa pè o tó bá jẹ́ personal lọ́jọ́ sọ̀rọ̀ ó máa pè ní irọ́ ṣùgbọ́n gbà tó ti bọ́ síta téèyàn kan ti publish ẹ̀ jáde can you imagine ìlú ti bàjẹ́ kí ló Bobrisky yẹn tó lójú ààrẹ. So whether Bobrisky is saying the truth or not, they are still doing fact finding, and it's not going to be like how come I don't know your voice note here. They will have to go there, investigate, and it will be jadi. He wants the country to get better. Whoever the person that published this wants corruption to be reduced. Want people to know that everybody is accountable. I support that. The only thing I just prefer, which is normal and sacrosanct, is that it's always good most times. Instead of you go find this, it's still the normal findings anybody that wants to also publish can do before you publish. Let me go and check if what this person is saying are not just blabbing, are not alakada, a statement of fact. If I can, there is a way you go about it. You can go to the prison and say, please, I want to verify, is it true that this person sleep in so place? If they refuse to answer me and I write to them, if I write to them and make inquiries and they did not respond to me, they cannot blame me for publishing. If I call Femi Falana or I write to him, sir, I received so clinical, sir, because that is what I am doing. I want corruption to go away. I'm an activist. I will write to you, sir. Are you Bobrisky's lawyer? Did you at any point, sir, did you do this or do that or this? Please, I need a response from you. If I send to you or I write to you, I send you a message and you ignore me after I've tried to make inquiries to establish and balance my truth, I'm sorry, sir, I'll go to press. But in an event whereby the person now responds and say, hey, young man, thank you for reaching out to me. What you elaborated there, they are of serious concern. Number one, I have never even represented this person before. Number two, I have not even spoken to this person before. Number three, I am not even going to do that. But if a person show you proof that I spoke to him on same subject or ask proof that I did that, please, if you have them, go to the press. If I don't have it, that means it is not true. Do you understand? Then I will just go to the prison and confirm too. Did this person stay here? Did this person, where is the facility? I have legitimate grounds to say, to ask, because there is an allegation. I have something to corroborate my inquiries. Prove to me that Bobrisky was in the prison facility. If they refuse to respond to you, fine. I am saying, then you have evidence. When I said they were after my life, some people don't believe. When I write to the public and I want to watch, I put on you, because there is no reason for me, if they are not after my life, to say they are after my life. It doesn't even make any sense. What sense is in it? Millions upon them. When I have the comfort of my house and office to do all this. So it doesn't even make any sense. But because people on social media, they believe because you come on social media and fight for you. I want to be offline. One more way, I'm bringing war to them. You want some set of people to go to life imprisonment. And you are going to where the truth will be found. And you're not even trying to bring the truth out alone. You want to go and protest in front of an house of assembly. That was the same place they started, like I'm saying, answers. And they know, because you know who you are, it will be very difficult to start beating you or for police to start attacking you in front of the house of assembly in broad daylight. That means with Yomi Fabiyi, with that kind of a demand, in the next second day, before you know it, other places they will start justice for Mohbad, and then the president will ask, what is their demand? They want CCTV out. They want phone forensic. In that the president want to block the airport.